Home Alone is a 1990 American Christmas family comedy film written and produced by John Hughes and directed by Chris Columbus. The film stars Macaulay Culkin as Kevin McCallister, an 8-year-old boy who is mistakenly left behind when his family flies to Paris for their Christmas vacation. Kevin initially relishes being home alone, but soon has to contend with two would-be burglars played by Daniel Stern and Joe Pesci. The film also features Catherine O'Hara and John Hughes as Kevin's parents. As of 2009, Home Alone was the highest-grossing comedy of all time. It spawned a successful franchise, with 4 sequels and 3 video games, and with the main cast reprising their roles for the sequel Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. Plot: the night before their flight to Paris for the Christmas holiday, the McCallister family gathers at the Winnetka, Illinois home of Peter and Kate McCallister. Their 8-year-old son, Kevin, is tormented by his siblings and cousins. After a fight with his older brother, Buzz, Kevin is sent to the 3rd floor of the house, where he wishes that his family would disappear. During the night, an electrical outage resets the alarm clocks and causes the family to oversleep. In the confusion and rush to reach their flight on time, Kevin is left behind and the family is unaware until they are already airborne. Once in Paris, both Peter and Kate desperately try to book a flight home, but find all the flights booked for the next 2 days. The clerks put Kate on standby for any possible seat opening. The rest of the family goes to their relatives' home in Paris. Meanwhile, Kevin wakes up to find the house empty and is overjoyed with his new freedom. The Chicago Police Department arrive to check on Kevin but are unable to locate him. Kevin's joy soon turns to fear as he deals with his next-door neighbor, Old Man Marley, and a pair of burglars, Harry and Marv. The duo are burglarizing the neighborhood's vacant homes and have targeted the McCallisters. Kevin keeps the duo at bay by tricking them into thinking the house is still inhabited, but they eventually realize that Kevin is alone. Kate gets a flight to the U.S., but ends up in Scranton, Pennsylvania. She tries to book a flight to Chicago but they are, again, all booked. Kate refuses to accept the situation, and she is overheard by Gus Polinski, the lead member of a traveling polka band, who offers to let her travel with them to Chicago on their way to Milwaukee, which he happily accepts. On Christmas Eve, Kevin overhears Harry and Marv discussing plans for breaking into his house that night. Kevin goes to church and watches a choir perform. Marley sits beside Kevin and the pair talk. He learns that Marley is actually a nice person and the rumors about him are false. He tells Kevin he is watching the choir because his granddaughter is in it, and he never gets to see her because he and his son have not spoken to each other in years after they had an argument. Kevin suggests that he reconcile with his son. Kevin returns home and rigs the house with numerous booby traps. Harry and Marv break in, springing the traps and suffering various injuries. While the duo closes in on Kevin, he calls the police and escapes the house into a neighboring vacant home. Harry and Marv manage to catch him and discuss how they will get their revenge, but Marley sneaks in and knocks them out with his snow shovel before they can hurt Kevin. Harry and Marv are arrested and connected to multiple other burglaries because of Marv's habit of flooding the houses that he and Harry have burglarized. On Christmas Day, Kevin is disappointed to find that his family is still gone. He then hears Kate enter the house and call for him. They reconcile and are quickly joined by the rest of the McCallisters, who waited in Paris until they could get a direct flight to Chicago. Kevin keeps silent about his encounter with Harry and Marv, although Peter finds Harry's missing gold tooth. Kevin then observes Marley reuniting with his son and his family. Marley notices Kevin and the pair acknowledge each other. Buzz suddenly calls out, "Kevin, what did you do to my room?" At which point Kevin runs off. Cast: Macaulay Culkin as Kevin McCallister, an energetic 8-year-old boy who is the youngest son of the McCallister family. He can be obnoxious and annoying, but he is proven to be extremely clever and resourceful. Joe Pesci as Harry, the short leader of the Wet Bandits. Daniel Stern as Marv, the tall member of the Wet Bandits. John Hughes as Peter McCallister, Kevin's father. Catherine O'Hara as Kate McCallister, Kevin's mother. Roberts Blossom as Kevin's elderly neighbor Old Man Marley. The rest of the McCallister family is portrayed by Devin Rattray as Buzz and Mike Marona as Jeff, Kevin's brothers. Hilary Wolfe as Megan and Angela Goethals as Linny, Kevin's sisters. Jerry Berman as Uncle Frank. Terry Snell as Aunt Leslie. And Kevin's cousins are portrayed by Jedidiah Cohen as Rod, Senta Moses as Tracy, Diana Campino as Sondra, Kieran Culkin as Fuller, Anna Slutky as Brooke, and Kristen Minter as Heather. The cast also includes John Candy as Gus Polinski, the polka king of the Midwest. Ralph Foodie as Johnny, a gangster who appears in the fictional film Angels with Filthy Souls. Larry Hankin as Larry Balzac, a police sergeant who works in Family Crisis. And Ken Hudson Campbell as a man dressed as Santa Claus. Production. Home Alone was initially a Warner Brothers production. When 20th Century Fox took over the project, the budget grew from $14 to $17 million. Home Alone was CETA-Euro, and mostly Shota-Euro in the greater Chicago area. Other shots, such as those of Paris, are either stock footage or film trickery. The Paris-Orly airport scenes were filmed in one part of O'Hare International Airport. The scene where Kevin wades through a flooded basement when trying to outsmart the burglars was shot in the swimming pool of New Trier High School. A mock-up of the McDonnell Douglas DC-10 business class was also put together in the school, on the basketball courts. Some scenes were shot in a three-story single-family house located at 671 Lincoln Avenue in the village of Winnetka. The kitchen in the film was shot in the house, along with the main staircase, basement and most of the first-floor landing. The house's dining room, and all the downstairs rooms were built on a soundstage. The house was built in 1921 and features 5 bedrooms, a fully converted attic, a detached double garage and a greenhouse. Kevin's treehouse in the backyard was built specifically for the film and demolished after principal photography ended. In May 2011, the house was listed for sale at $2.4 million. It sold in March 2012 for $1.585 million. The house is promoted as a tourist attraction and cited as an example of how to get your home in the movies. Music. The film score of Home Alone was composed by John Williams. Christmas songs, such as O Holy Night, and Carol of the Bells, are featured prominently in the film, as well as the film's theme song Somewhere in My Memory. The soundtrack was released by Sony Classical in 1990. Reception. Box office. In its opening weekend, Home Alone grossed $17 million in 1,202 theaters, averaging $14,211 per site and just 6% of the final total. Home Alone proved so popular that it stayed in theaters well past the Christmas season. It was the #1 film at the box office for 12 straight weeks, from its release weekend of November 16, Euro 18, 1990 through the weekend of February 1, Euro 3, 1991. It remained a top 10 draw at the box office until the weekend of April 26 that year, which was well past Easter weekend. It made 2 more appearances in the top 10 before finally falling out of the top 10. The film ended up making a final gross of $285,761,243, the top-grossing film of its year in North America. The film is listed in the Guinness World Records as the highest-grossing live-action comedy ever. By the time it had run its course in theaters, Home Alone was the 3rd highest-grossing film of all time, according to the Home Video Box. In total, its cinema run grossed $477,561,243 worldwide. According to William Goldman, the film's success prompted the creation of a Hollywood verb, to be home alone, meaning to have film's box office potential affected by the impact of Home Alone. Examples of movies that were home alone include 3 Men and a Little Lady and Kindergarten Cop. Critical response. Home Alone received mixed reviews from film critics. The film holds a 54% approval rating on the review aggregate website Rotten Tomatoes, based on 41 reviews with an average rating of 5.2/10. At Metacritic, which assigns a normalized rating out of 100 to reviews from film critics, it has a rating score of 63/100 based on 9 reviews, indicating generally favorable reviews. Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times gave the film a 2/1, a 2 out of 4-star rating. He criticized the plot as so implausible that it makes it hard for him to really care about the plight of the kid, Kevin. However, he praised Culkin's performance and compared the elaborate booby traps in the film to Rube Goldberg. Although Karen James of the New York Times complained that the film's first half is flat and unsurprising as its cute little premise suggests, she praised the second half for its slapstick humor. She also praised the conversation between Kevin and Marley, as well as the film's final scenes. Owen Gleiberman of Entertainment Weekly magazine gave the film a D grade, criticizing the film for its sadistic festival of adult bashing. Gleiberman said that, "John Hughes is pulling our strings as though he'd never learned to do anything else." Variety magazine praised the film for its cast. Jan Cooper of The Washington Post praised the film for its comedic approach. Hal Hinson, also of The Washington Post, praised Chris Columbus's direction and Culkin's acting. Accolades: the film was nominated for 2 Academy Awards, one for Best Original Score, which was written by John Williams, and the other for Best Original Song for Somewhere in My Memory, music by Williams and lyrics by Leslie Bricker. American Film Institute lists AFI's 100 Years. 100 Laughs, nominated, AFI's 100 Years. 100 Heroes and Villains, Harry Lime and Marv Merchants, nominated villains. Sequels: a film was followed by a commercially successful sequel in 1992, Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, which brings back the first film's cast. The film within a film, Angels with Filthy Souls, had a sequel in Home Alone 2, Angels with Even Filthier Souls. Both Angels Meet films featured character actor Ralph Foodie as stereotypical 1930s mobster Johnny. Home Alone 3, released in 1997, has completely different actors, and a different storyline with John Hughes writing the screenplay. A fourth made-for-TV film followed in 2002, Home Alone 4. This film features some of the same characters who were in the first 2 films, but with a new cast and a storyline that does not fall into the same continuity. Hughes did not write the screenplay for the TV film. On November 25, 2012, a 5th film, Home Alone: The Holiday Heist, premiered during ABC Family's 25 Days of Christmas programming event. The 1995 comedy film Bushwhacked was originally planned to be a spin-off film with Daniel Stern reprising his role as Marv giving up his life of crime only to be framed while working at his new job. Home media: Home Alone was first released on VHS on August 22, 1991 in the United States, following its November 16, 1990 theatrical release. On October 5, 1999 or 2000, a film received its first DVD release, via 20th Century Fox Home Entertainment, including the re-release of the VHS in December 2000. The Family Fun Edition DVD was released in 2006. For the first time, this edition contains several special features, audio commentary with director Chris Columbus and star Macaulay Culkin, 1990 press featurette, The Making of Home Alone, Mac Cam, behind the scenes with Macaulay Culkin, How to Burglar-Proof Your Home, The Stance of Home Alone, Home Alone Around the World, Where's the Buzz Now? Angels with Filthy Souls, deleted scenes, alternate takes, blooper reel, set-top games, battle plan, trivia game, and head count. The film was also made available as part of a collection on DVD, featuring all 4 Home Alone films. The Family Fun Edition was released on Blu-ray disc on December 2010. Novelization: Home Alone was novelized by Todd Strasser and published by Scholastic in 1990 to coincide with the film. ISBN 0-590-55066-7. In the book The McCallisters live in Oak Park, Kevin is 7 years old, Buzz's tarantula is named as AXL and the Wet Bandits are named as Harry Lime and Marv Merkins. See also: List of American films of 1990, List of films featuring home invasions, a plot device in thriller films that Home Alone lampoons, references. External links: Home Alone at the Internet Movie Database, Home Alone at the TCM Movie Database, Home Alone at AllMovie, Home Alone at Rotten Tomatoes, Home Alone at Metacritic, Home Alone at the Numbers.